this is quite a big cut, and I mean the most recent comparison is something they did in 2000 where they cut 2023 when they cut a sort of similar number of jobs in the thousands. But this certainly seems to be tying together a few different phenomena here. Partly tied to performance, partly the firm reorienting where it's basing some of its workers, and also a small portion of these cuts are coming from AI already and automation, making certain roles and tasks more efficient.
Wait, talk more about that part, because isn't that what everyone was freaked out about? Like, is this like junior banker stuff, or is this different?
It seems to be, yeah. I mean, I think it's more back office, that kind of thing across these banks, right? Like, you can actually see in the 10Ks that these banks released their annual filings this year, more and more of them were talking about risks from AI, but also potential savings from AI that are coming. And they've been obviously telegraphing these potential changes for a while now. But now I think you're really starting to see the early stages of the effects of that kind of technology.
Some of my darkest memories are 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning at the printing press down in Lower Manhattan, Greenwich Street, Donnelly. Looking at a convertible bond prospectus for, errors and things like that.
Oh my God.
Tell me AI can do that for me. I'm all in for that.
Yeah, well, I think it can.
Okay,
it certainly can already. Good. Yeah, don't worry about that.
All right, how about the folks over at Citi? This was a little bit squirrely here. They had some special bonuses for the execs.
For sure, yeah. So Citi's been going through a multi-year turnaround plan, right, under CEO Jane Fraser, who took over in 2021. Later that year, the board put in place this thing called the Transformation Bonus Program, which basically was trying to tie the top 250 or so executives, their pay to specific milestones, achievements as it comes to dealing with regulators' demands. Remember, Citigroup is under 2 big regulatory consent orders from the Fed and the OCC that were put in place in 2020. And they've been trying to shed these, mainly about back office checks, data quality management, and obviously we know recently some botched transfers that made some headlines, renewed scrutiny over these issues at the bank. And what's clear here is that Citigroup now, this is the 3rd and final tranche of these annual bonuses, and in fact, every year they've been going down in terms of percentage, the scorecard basically that the executives have been getting. In 2022, they got 94% of their bonus payout. In 2023, they got 80%. And now this time they're getting 68%, but that's only because partly boosted by a share price. A share price contribution that wasn't present in the previous 2 tranches. Without those, if you're comparing apples to apples, they're down at 53%. So they've fallen from 94 to 80 to 53, basically, if you're looking at raw performance in terms of how the board thinks that these top executives are doing in getting towards these key, these key milestones that have been set for them a long time ago and are really a key part of what Jane Fraser has staked her tenure on.
So that's not good. Like, if you're sitting in that position, you're like, ruh-roh. Like, what do you do then?
What do you do, right? Yeah,
walk across the street.
Good question. I mean, that's one of the risks of making a bonus program like this is you're being so transparent that it's almost, it's difficult to be like, hey, yeah, we're doing really well when you're not. And in fact, the bank has quite transparently said, sure, we're not doing well enough. They got a fine of about $160 million in July from the Fed and the OCC for basically not improving fast enough. And if you get a fine like that, it's quite hard to be paying.
And be like, no, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite hard to be paying out bigger bonuses on these, on this level. But we also don't know how much the bank is spending on these bonuses. CFO Mark Mason also declined his bonus this year, this transformation award bonus specifically. A lot of the improvements that need to be made are under the Treasury, under regulatory reporting issues that he's responsible for. And so he seems to have sort of taken that on the chin.